let's go through the top 2 objections that everyone gets, which is money and time. Someone asked, I think in the last session, if my program is evergreen, then what do you do about people saying, I'll just join later then, right? So we're going to talk about that. Let's talk about financial first. Okay, so this sounds like I can't afford it. That's out of my budget. Maybe after my next launch, if I have more money, then I'll do it. Like a lot of times this is kind of chicken or an egg thing where it's like, well, you help me get clients, but let me go out and try to get a client before I join. And it's kind of like, oh, that's backwards. You know what I mean? So here's what happens. When you get a money objection or finance objection, you might be thinking, my program really is too expensive. I'm charging too much. No, you're not. Or you might be thinking, I should probably discount my price for this person or offer a downsell right away. Or you might be thinking, I don't want to be pushy. I don't want to talk about money. This makes me uncomfortable. Just like Cami said, just slowly slide out of the room through the door. So, and honestly, there's no surprise here because you've been taught maybe some icky feeling things around how to handle financial objections, which is what we talked about in the empowering enrollment experience. When you've been told that that's the way to overcome financial objections, no wonder you don't want to have this money conversation with people because it feels icky, right? That makes sense. So we're going to show you a different way to approach it, right? That's still effective. Like I said, you do not need to resort to certain tactics in order to enroll your dream clients. Okay, so this is what the, just go up one before. So this is what the quote unquote industry will tell you is, like we said, money objections aren't real. It's all mindset. No, some money situations are very real for people. And that's like a very inappropriate thing to say. If someone wants it bad enough, then they would go into debt or they find the money somehow, or just keep pushing till you get a yes. This is not how we do things, okay? So in the empowering enrollment experience, we start off any financial conversation by stating our values around not putting people in financial strain. This is literally the first thing you will hear is, I completely understand it's a big investment, and our company policy is to never put anyone in an uncomfortable spot or in undue financial strain, whatever phrasing makes sense for you. So if now isn't the right time, no worries, totally fine. We look forward to working with you when the timing is right. But then here's where we go from there, okay? So now we want to talk about the value of your program. We want to talk about the ROI and results of your program, right? So first things first, stay out of people's wallets, right? It's rude. It's disempowering to make those assumptions about people. You don't know what someone's financial situation is, regardless of what they told you their salary is, or their revenue, or their income, or their job title. That doesn't actually have anything to do with how much money they have. And you don't know what someone's priorities are. They could be really invested in this one thing that you teach, and they're prioritizing investing in that part of their life right now. And that's important to them. Don't take that away from them. Okay. Same thing with their criteria for making investments, right? Everyone has a personal criteria for what is worth a worthy investment for each person, or anything else. You don't know what that is for them. Okay. And then we want to have a conversation about value and ROI. So let's take it back to basics. What are the outcomes that you help someone achieve, right? Why is that important to them? What's the time frame that this is going to take? So again, this kind of comes into, hey, if you have a speaking engagement in October, or I gave this example the other day, you want to be hosting your family in your brand new renovated kitchen this holiday season, you actually have to start that today, right? So what's the time frame? What are the outcomes that people are looking to get? Why did they apply in the first place, right? Because there was a reason that they applied, and now it's like getting a little, okay, well, I don't know if I'm going to make this investment. This is a lot of money. Of course, it's a lot of money. We absolutely respect and understand and honor that. And here's some things just to make sure, what are your best next steps in terms of the program. And then you can always tell stories about your clients and share results. This is the main thing, is like, let your clients do the talking. Let the stories talk for themselves and share relevant stories. So if someone can say, oh, well, this is someone in your same niche, or this is someone who came to me the same situation as you. This is someone who's your same age. This is someone who actually has a lot in common with your situation. That's really, really powerful. Just share stories. Anything to add there, Cami?
Yeah, I will say that if you don't have testimonials yet from clients, you can use yourself as your own best case study. Like, we just had a client who launched her program about helping web designers land and pitch 10K projects. And she'd never had a client through before, but she'd done it for herself. So she got really personal and told her story about how and why she did that. She was her own very best case study. And then I'll also add that not all ROI is financial. So,
Yes.
for example, you might have a program helping somebody land a 10K website project. In that case, you can have a very clear conversation about what it means to join your program, what the value is in relation to the price, how quickly someone can start seeing a return on their investment, etc. But if your program does not teach how to make money online, for example, here in the screenshot, we have a client who has a program to help families parent their autistic children. That does not have a monetary outcome, but it still has so much value. You know, parents who are wanting their kids to be happy and healthy and have support in managing their autism, like that has real, deep, meaningful value. And so we were able to help this client find a way to communicate that and find a way to overcome those financial objections, talking about a value that is not monetary. So if you're in more of like a business to consumer niche, you don't sell how to make money online, you can still talk about value, you can still talk about ROI.
Totally. Relationships. And we're talking about like, you know, what would it mean to have a shift in one of our clients teaches communication skills, like both professional and in your personal relationships. And so what would it mean to, like, you've had this difficult conversation on your heart for months, like you've known that you need to have this difficult conversation with either a friend or family member or maybe a partner. And what would it mean if like you had the tools literally in the next week to be able to have that conversation with confidence, and it's going to change the way you've been feeling and holding this in for so long. That is why people pay a high ticket price for that, because it's so worth it. It solves, like, the ROI can be emotional, it can be physical, it can be wellness, it can be, you know, we talked about our client who helps people with just their mindset around fertility, where it doesn't ultimately matter if they end up getting pregnant or not, because they've completely shifted their mindset about what it means for them in their life. So it's really important to think about ROI is emotional. Just like I said in the chat, think about how much we spend on the gym and on therapy and on medical things. Like, think about how much people spend on personal development. It's almost like it's not even odd now. It's not even weird, especially now in this day and age, to invest a lot in mindset and personal development. I think like 10 years ago, it's like, wait, you're spending $10,000 like personal development? That's kind of crazy. But now that's completely normal.
Yeah. So this is like our kind of 3-part approach to financial objections, right? We let people know that genuinely, if now is not the right time due to finances, no worries. Then we have a conversation about value and ROI and their goals and their outcomes. We share stories, we share testimonials, and then we move on to this next step, which is more kind of nitty gritty. So we offer people empowering payment options. So you're going to want, in addition to a pay in full price for your program, you're going to want an accessible monthly payment plan. And then in our program, we give people the option to come and join us on the payment plan and then pay off their balance within the first 8 months of their program and still get the pay in full savings and pay in full bonuses. So like, I'm sure you've seen this before, where there's often a pay in full price that is less expensive than the payment plan total option, right? Payment plans often end up adding up to more. So for us in our business, what feels really, really good is giving people the option to join on a payment plan and then pay off their balance later. And we find that it really, having that flexibility really helps our clients, especially if they are concerned about cash flow and finances are one of the objections that they have. It's just such an empowering, great option.
And I love to point out at the bottom of this, you know, again, it's a script, but it's like, it has to be customized to you. This is why we work with our clients to build their own custom responses, because it's not just as copy paste, like you're going to want to customize it to you. But I like how we say this is completely optional, but some clients love having this flexibility and it might help out. So it's not saying like you have to do this. We're just saying like, here's an option, just want to put it on the table.
Yeah. So as you can see, like, the approach to a financial objection is really multifaceted and multi-layered. And it's a whole in-depth conversation that you have with your leads in the DMs. And it's definitely not something to feel afraid of or to run away from, you know, especially with this approach where you're talking about the value, you're talking about the outcomes, you're offering these empowering payment options. Like, this is a wonderful conversation to have with your leads. It's not something to feel nervous about or awkward about.